about. I didn't really have like per se something that I wanted to talk about other than us just getting off of autopilot, basically, which was the conversation that I began earlier on my behind the robe video this morning without my face on it, right? Okay, so my question is, who is the captain of your soul? you know um a lot of us are living on autopilot, and it's time to take action so that we can change certain things that are taking place in our lives. Like I said, the challenge of love did come up because, you know, I mean, people don't even have an idea or concept of what love is, because it really starts with self. Understanding who you are and knowledge of who you are. A lot of us are just moving on autopilot and have to understand that we are the captain of our soul. You are the driver. We live in a place called space. We live on Earth, but in a place called space where there's reservoirs and reservoirs of information, energy, higher sciences, dark and light, negative and positive, and action that's constantly moving. So, I was kind of writing some notes down earlier, and all of them aren't so much in order per se, but this is about learning to trust ourselves more, and just remembering that the body is only a vehicle, which goes back to what is mediumship, what goes back to cosmic mediumship. Everybody in as such is a medium for what comes into your body. And honestly, a medium should also be a determiner, a energy so aligned with the universe that you can determine what spirits that you want or will allow your body to entertain or to give a place in or to host. The body is a vessel for the spirit. And that's not just for the Holy Spirit. That's where it gets tricky at with, certain scriptures where they may not be understood or not explained in the way where people can really grasp that. But even Jesus himself, that's a form of mediumship. If he's saying only through him is how you get to the Most High, that means he is the middle man. He is the one in the medium, or the medium man, the middle man. I know that all of us are mediums or have the ability to be vessels. We are vessels. This is not the ability. We are vessels for the spirit. But you have the ability to be the driver of this body that you're in. Your body is yours, even though you're a medium to channel the spirit. The soul is what determines what spirits you should be allowing in the body to begin with. Okay? So if you're sitting on autopilot and you're not able to decipher which spirits is good or which is bad for you, then, and you don't even care, you're just going with it, just doing whatever, eating whatever, partaking in whatever, watching whatever, just whatever. We all go through it because we're humans, and we are humans that have been really misinformed about who we are and what our abilities are. But you have to get this, and I'm not going to rant on too long. I had wrote some notes earlier, and I, and it was just basically, I'm just going into us being the driver. Okay, so we live in a place in space called Earth, and I believe, just like many others, Earth is constantly being observed. It's being observed by higher intelligence, cosmic scientists, aliens, if you believe that, but controllers and handlers, and not people in space necessarily, right here on Earth. It's like programs and games being played on us right here on Earth. And it's kind of like, even like the Truman Show. So the Truman Show, if you haven't seen it, it's with, what's his name? Jim Carrey, and you should see it. Basically, we are literally, it's like, so the Truman Show is about a brother, a white boy, Jim Carrey, who was born on a movie set. And for many years, he thought that was his reality, from his job to the people he dealt with to all of these different individuals. His whole life, everything he thought, everything in society, but he found out later that it was only a movie set. You know, he was even led to believe that his father died, and just all kind of things. It was pretty cruel, but it makes you think, you know, because some of these things I already felt. And, you know, it's been resonating in with me for a long time. You know, so it's like we are literally like on a set, you know, with actors and props and fiction realities and roles that we get caught up in. So like when I say we're literally on a set, I'm just speaking about this state of existence, you know, this dream world that we're in, that we have accepted for reality. Um, the actors are the people that we interact with every day. You know, the props are like the things, the material things that are here that distract us from what our true purpose is. You know, we get caught up in roles, you know, being a mother, a father, sister, brother, daddy, daughter, son, lover, teacher, police officer, artist, revolutionary, the racist, the humanitarian, all of these different roles that we are here playing, and we become so intertwined into this material world and of all of these fictions and non-absolute realities that we lose ourselves. You know, there's electrical, I mean, and things that I'm talking about, it could be a little intertwined, because I'm speaking of things like the holographic universe. I'm speaking of mediumship. I'm speaking of the soul, and that we have the ability to choose thoughts. And not just choose thoughts, because, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, when we're talking about the universal law of vibration, there's a lot of things that we think are coming from us, but they're being emitted from other sources. They're like electrical waves and vibrations and all kind of things that are constantly happening, that those beings that I spoke about, the observers, that are constantly observing, the scientists, the controllers and handlers of this world, even energies, spiritual energies that are constantly sending information to you. Okay, going back to the star, is information that's constantly being poured out. Okay, she's a vessel. This card represents the vessel. It represents, you know, how we are filled. She's showing it it's showing it her spiritual, being a spiritual vessel in a symbolic, physical way, like she's the container pouring out the information. But that's us, you know, and we get lost in these roles thinking, and the thing that control us with is generally, is not generally, yeah, generally is fear, sex, those kind of energies. They play on our trauma. So any kind of pains or anything that we have, those negative forces. And when I talk about the observers, some people may call that the devil. Some people may call it the evil ones, the dark ones, or whatever. The ones that are pretending to be whatever. Just they're not of the same celestial ilk as the children of the Most High. Or what we call the Most High, because what is that, right? Or the source, the universal source. They're a part of the whole programming, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's taking place, you know.